Hello students and welcome. Today we'll be quoting the informational text. Ask and answer questions about informational text. I can quote the informational text as evidence to support my inferences. Discuss with a partner. Based on your prior knowledge, what do detectives need to do in order to solve a mystery? Detectives look closely at the information that they are given, make inferences about what they think happened, find evidence to use as proof to back up their thoughts. Quoting the text. Today you are going to act like detectives. When you are answering questions based on an informational text, you will use quotes from the text as evidence to support your inferences or answers. What is an informational text? Nonfiction writing with the intention of teaching readers about a topic using real facts and information. Why is quoting the text important? By using quotes from the text to support your inferences, you are proving that what you said is accurate. It is important that you quote the text to show where you got your information from. This way, you can also give credit to the author of the text. There are several ways you can introduce a quote that supports your inferences. Here are some sentence starters you can use. According to the text, for example, in the text it states, the author states, in the article the author writes, in the text it says, on page it says, I think, because in the text it says, the text says. So these are just some ways that you can start off your sentences. Here's an example of how to quote accurately from the text. Frogs and toads are both amphibians, but they have different features. According to the text, toads have dry, bumpy skin, and frogs usually have slick, wet skin. Turn and talk. What do you notice about the punctuation in this example? I'll give you a few moments on that. Using punctuation when quoting the text. Following the sentence starter, a comma should be used to connect the two ideas. Make sure the quote begins with a capital letter. A period should be placed at the end of the quote before the quotation mark. Quotation marks should be used anytime you are referring to ideas that come directly from the text. Quotations come before and after the quote from the text. Let's look at an example. What does the author think about frogs and toads? Use evidence from the text to support your inference. The author thinks both frogs and toads are fascinating creatures. Text evidence. The author states toads have short legs that are better for walking. Frogs have strong, long back legs that are good for leaping and swimming. Another text evidence is in the text it also says toads lay eggs in chains and frogs lay eggs in clusters. Which example is written incorrectly? And explain. Example 1. Golden eagles are predators. The text states eagles use their speed and sharp talons to snatch up rabbits, marmots, and ground squirrels. Additionally, the author states ranchers once killed many of these birds in fear that they would prey on their livestock. This response is written correctly. Now let's look at example 2. Golden eagles are predators. The text states, eagles use their speed and sharp talons to snatch up rabbits, marmots, and ground squirrels. Additionally, the author states ranchers once killed many of these birds in fear that they would prey on their livestock. This response is written incorrectly. It is missing quotation marks before and after the first quote. A comma should be placed after additionally, and states, and the R in ranchers should be capitalized. Highlight supporting evidence. The chimney swift has more energy than any other bird. Between the time it leaves its roost in the morning to the time it returns at night, this bird rarely lands. Instead, it tirelessly spends the day in flight. This slick, gray-brown bird snatches insects in the air for food. It even takes a bath while flying. Long ago, most chimney swifts nested in tall, hollow trees. After Europeans settled in North America, they cleared many of the trees to make room for farms and houses. But chimney swifts were able to adapt because they are the smartest species. They began nesting inside chimneys, which is how they earned their name. Chimney swifts are the greatest acrobats. Unlike other birds, a chimney swift neither perches nor walks on the ground. They cling to vertical surfaces like chimney walls with the aid of a hooked toes and swift tail features. Roast means a place where birds gather to rest and sleep. Highlight details from each paragraph that supports the inference the chimney swift bird is very unique. So, in paragraph 1, it has more energy than any other bird, rarely lands, takes baths while flying. I'll take my marker, my yellow marker, and I will I'll underline that part. It takes a bath while flying. It rarely lands. Has more energy than any other bird. Paragraph 2, they are the smartest species, began nesting inside chimneys. Nesting inside chimneys. They are the smartest species. And paragraph 3, they are the greatest acrobats. Greatest acrobats. And they cling to vertical surfaces. Cling to vertical surfaces. And there you have it. Those are my supporting evidence. And here they are again, underlined for you to see. Based on the text, what do you think about the chimney swift? In your notebook, write a response and quote accurately from the text to support your inference. Include at least 2 details. Don't forget to use sentence starters, commas, and quotation marks. Highlight details to support your inference. Many people are tempted to keep wild animals as pets. Some think fox cubs are great to cuddle. Some think monkeys are fun to train. And others think that having exotic snakes would impress their friends. But keeping wild animals as pets is not a good idea. Wild animals often grow to be stronger and more dangerous than their owners expected. These animals have natural instincts that can cause a change in their behavior. Young animals can grow to be large animals that bite, scratch, and even attack humans. Owners often abandon their pets when this happens. Many wild animals also carry diseases that are harmful to people. It's not only large animals that carry harmful germs. Small animals such as rabbits, chicks, and mice spread them too. Share your inference. How does the author feel about wild animals as pets? People should not have wild animals as pets. They can be dangerous and harm people. And here are the evidence right here in the text, the inference right here. So in your notebook, write a response and quote accurately from the text to support your inference and include at least 2 details. Don't forget to use sentence starters, commas, and quotation marks. True or false? Quotes are words taken directly from the text. You said true, you are correct. True or false? Punctuation is not important when quoting from the text. You said false, you are correct. True or false? You do not need to use quotation marks when quoting from the text. You said false, you are correct. True or false? Quotes can be used as evidence to support an inference. You said true, you are correct. True or false? You should introduce the quote before using it in your writing. You said true, you are correct. Which sentence is accurately referring to a quote from the text? If you said according to the text, it is not fair to keep wild animals in cages or backyards, you are correct. Which sentence is accurately referring to a quote from the text? If you said the author states wild animals often become sick or die because their owners don't care for them properly, you are correct. Which detail best supports the inference that people are not aware of how dangerous wild animals can grow to be? If you said, but keeping wild animals as pets is not a good idea, you are correct. Which detail best supports the inference that a wild animal's instincts can cause them to change as they grow? If you said both A and C support the inference, you are correct. Why do you think the author decided to write this passage about wild animals as pets? You said to inform readers that keeping a wild animal as a pet is not a good idea. You are correct. What did you learn? I can quote the text as evidence to support my inferences. When answering a question or making an inference, why is it important to use quotes from the text? How do writers quote accurately from the text? So we're going to add what is missing in the sentences below. And I just removed them so now you can see 1, 2, and 3 and see below each of the questions how they are supposed to be written. This is a quote from the text to support your inference about busy beneficial bees.